Good evening, everyone. This is John Locke, and welcome to the Locke in Your Success Trade and Market Update for August 4th, 2013. Before we get going, we're going to quickly show you the SMB training disclaimer. Please read it carefully. Also, we'd like to remind you that this presentation is for educational purposes only. We're not broker-dealers or financial advisors, and we're not making any specific trade recommendations. Also, the risk of loss in trading options can be substantial, so please be aware of all your risks prior to placing any trades. If you're watching this on YouTube or the SMB blog, please come on over to lockeinyoursuccess.com and check out what we have going on over here and join our mailing list. And as always, check out the ROCK, M3, and Bearish Butterfly video series. They're really great, and we have lots of new programs coming out as well, so stay tuned for that. And let's take a look at the markets. If we look at the Russell, we can see that the market did pretty much what we thought it was going to do. It was a little bit stronger than I anticipated. I anticipated a deeper pullback here, probably to the 1030 or the 1020. Thus far, that hasn't happened. I did expect the 1060 area to hold. From here, normally, I'd be looking for the market to continue sideways, possibly pull back still to the 1030 area at a minimum. However, we have some other information on some of the other indices that's actually affecting what's going on here. So it looks like the Russell may end up being a little bit stronger than anticipated. I would still say the best bet for the Russell is to maintain sideways and close the month in the 1060 area. But we'll have to see how that goes. Let's take a look at what we have going on in the SPX. The SPX clearly ran sideways most of the week. We had a breakout on Thursday, and it held that breakout on Friday. For the SPX, this is very, very bullish. And we can easily come in here and set a small price target on this little cup here. If you look on a shorter term chart, you'll see that a little bit better. Gives us a short term price target of about 1720 for the SPX, which is another 10 points. Now, if this holds and we do get that 10-point run for the week, that's probably going to drag the Russell up to about 1072. Which is pretty much in line with the Russells. If we come back to the Russell, it's pretty much in line with this little pattern here. If you went in on a shorter term time frame, say 60 days, and made a measurement of our cup that we have here, and you projected it out, it would run to about 1072 or so. So short term price targets would be at 1072 if we do happen to break out. And that's going to be more or less dependent on what the SPX and the other guys do. So let's take a look at the Dow. We had a very similar thing. We have a bit of a cup in here, and we broke out earlier on this cup and handle pattern, and we can set a price target for that, which is quite a bit higher. But if we set a target for this smaller cup and handle on the Dow, it brings us up to about 15.8, which is about another 150 points. And when you get about 150 points in the Dow, you probably get about 12 in the Russell, if everything's working equally. So that makes sense on our 1072 high estimate for that. And if we take a look at the NASDAQ has just been on fire since we came back. We broke our resistance level here, retested, and now we're blasting off. If we set our price patterns in here and take it from this cup and take a look at where we're going very short term, the NASDAQ appears as if it wants to go to 3155-ish. So everything right now is looking extremely bullish. If we get any kind of a pullback, the Russell will hold 1060. If the market just wants to keep going and the people just keep buying, I'd say 1072 for the week. I wouldn't anticipate us going a whole lot higher than that. And that may also do it for the month as well, but we shall see. But for right now, we have to realize we are very overextended. Of course, if these breakouts fail and come down, we could get a significant down move. But as of right now, it doesn't really look like the market wants to do that. So at least not with the information we have today. All right, let's look at our positions. As of right now, we have 5 positions we're monitoring. We're in 2 V condors in August and September. We're in an August ROCK trade, an August M3 trade, and a September Bearish Butterfly. The week was fairly calm. There wasn't a whole lot of movement, so we went a little bit higher, but not too bad. So we didn't have a whole lot of stuff going on. As far as the August V condor goes, let's go back to Monday and take a look at what that position looked like. On Monday, we were in a regular condor. We had 15 short 990s, 15 long 960s, 12 short 1090s, and 10 long 1020s. 11 20s. And if you look here, Not a whole lot of profit potential left in this thing here. And we're down a bit of money, and that's because of that really, really large extended move we had. We've ridden this thing from the very bottom of the last run that we've had in the Russell. And later in the week, on Thursday, when the market started pushing up again, if we come into Thursday, right, I maintain a maximum delta of minus 100 on this, and I'm up at minus 108. And I had a choice of buying back some more of these 1090s to bring my delta down, but that would have taken the little bit of profit I have in here and beat it up even more. So instead, what we decided to do is we decided to roll the put side, and we did that with a butterfly. We sold 15 1060s, bought 30 1090s, and sold 15 1010s. So I didn't come all the way to 1020. I only went to 1010. It was actually, so officially that was a broken wing butterfly, a 960, 990, 1010 broken wing butterfly. Rolled this up, kicked our delta down where I wanted it, and gave us a little bit more money in the trade. So it wasn't a terribly risky move here. Of just, like I said, it was just a technique to cut our delta back a little bit, and it actually kicks a little bit more money in the trade. I'll probably continue to do that as long as there's enough credit. Notice I did roll it, but I did shorten the wing also, right? So I'm starting to take off my downside risk in case the thing decides to whipsaw on us and hits us hard to the downside. And as of right now, if we roll this forward to the end of the day, you can to the end of the week on Friday afternoon, you can see here we're long the 990s, short to 1010s, and that's what that broken wing butterfly did for us. And if you take a look at the analyzed graph, because we're so close to expiration and our theta numbers are so high, we've actually come back so that the trade is positive. So it's very, very likely we will expire this trade at in the high 2000s for a return, which isn't great, but it's good for a month like we've had. So this looks good, and we'll see what happens. Maybe by the end of the week we'll even be able to take the darn thing off and forget about it if we're in the center of it. I may be able to get almost maximum profit and just do it and move on. If we take a look at our V Condor for September, there have been absolutely no adjustments to this. We're short the 1130 strike. We're short the 950 strike. We have our straddle in here at 1040. Now markets, the position looks like this here. Not a problem at all. If we actually swing back into range here, I'll be widening out this straddle and starting to raise a T+0 line because the market's not going anywhere. If we actually break out and creep forward, that would be the best scenario here. If we creep into the 1080 plus area and we do it relatively slowly, this will do very good this month. Otherwise, like I said, we're going to start raising the V on this thing. And as of right now, it's up about $1,400. Everything's fine. We're only minus 31 delta. We're quite far from an actual adjustment point due to a delta problem. But like I said, if we sit in the middle too much longer, we'll start raising the expiration graph some. And let's take a look at our August ROCK position. And we'll go back to Wednesday. As of Wednesday, we were in 10 1030s and 5 1070s, which was the position we were in last week. If we shoot it to Thursday, on Thursday afternoon, I bought 5 more of these 1070 butterflies, and we did that earlier in the day in the morning because the market was up quite a bit and we were running into a total delta problem, and we do tend to watch that with the ROCK trade. So we came in here in the morning and bought the other half of this, the other half of the second third of our position, or 5 1070 butterflies. Later on in the day, the market continued up and we wanted to cut our delta back again, so I bought a 1040 1080 call vertical. Now, the reason I did that is because at the time, if we can run up towards the end of the day, there wasn't a heck of a lot or not enough time value in these 990s for me to be, I mean, there's enough there to do it, but there's not enough to me to be overly thrilled about actually doing a butterfly at 1090. I'd rather wait to see if the market's going to continue to shoot up and buy the butterfly or the other half of this wing a little bit later when there's actually some value in these 1090s. So what we did as a replacement to cut our delta down to close to minus 180 was to buy a 1040 1080 vertical. And if we come in on Friday, the market didn't really go much higher, but what happened is our delta started to increase. And because our delta was increasing, and it did actually exceed the 225 again during the day, I went in here and I bought another 1040, 1080, and that position currently looks like this. So this is really nice looking, especially if we kind of hold range here, and it'll be fine as well if we creep up. If we get too hard of a move up, it's going to draw down quite a bit, but if we stabilize pretty well, then we'll do well this month. So we'll see how this goes. And if you want to take a look at the T-log, there's the T-log for that. And let's see, next would be the August M3 trade. If we take this back to Thursday and a little bit earlier in the day, we have our one long 1020 call. We have our 10 long 960s, our 10 short 1010s, one short 1030, 9 short 1040s, 10 long 1060s, and that one long 1020. So I've been attempting to keep the delta numbers in this thing around minus 50. I mean, I'm not too concerned about going over, but I'm not letting them run to minus 100 because the market's been so bullish. And the price has been dropping more than normal to the upside, and the expiration graph is showing, even on on our option view system. So I've been keeping these around minus 50. So later in the day, as the market went up, we're only up 7 now. We're up, I think, 14 at some point during the day. We started coming in here and buying broken wing butterflies. All I'm doing is I'm rolling my shorts out, and I'm also rolling the longs a little bit more to kick my theta up. So we did something like this, where we add 1 here, we minus 2 here, and we add 1 here. And that was one of the broken wing butterflies we did. And then we did 2 1040, 1060, 1070 butterflies, and we rolled a total of 5 shorts out to 1060 and a total of 5 of these, I'm sorry, total of 3 of these longs up here to 1070 to widen our graph out. So if we come to the end of the day, you'll see that we're now short 7 at the 1040s, we're long 4 1060s and 3 1070. And our delta here is still a little bit higher than I'd like, but like I said, I'm not trying to overdo it, and I know the market's, or at least I'm thinking the market's at the top of its range. So I'm keeping myself around minus 50, but I'm not cutting myself down too short here. And this is what the position looked like as of close on Thursday. And as we know, this was a very big up day. And then on Friday, when the market pulled back a little bit in the morning, but it obviously held and came back up to near neutral. I think it went positive a few times. And I ended up doing 3 more of these 1040, 1060, 1070 broken wing butterflies. And now we're sitting in a position where we're short 4 1040s, short 2 1060s, and long 6 1070s. We're still running around the minus 66 delta. It seems no matter what I do, I can't get the delta down enough because the market just keeps going up. So this is what our position looks like now. We are slightly inside the tent. Our delta is a little higher than I'd like it. If we pull back on Monday, that'll be nice. If we keep going, then we will continue to follow it and eventually just take all our risk off the upside and let the thing expire like we did last month. If the market is friendly to us at all, then it may be a very good month this month. If it keeps going, then we're just going to take it for the scratch again. Like I said, it's just been very, very bullish, particularly into expiration. So that type of move's a little tough on this type of a trade. But as of right now, things are going well. I think I'm showing up about $900, a little bit higher than what this shows. And if you want to take a look at the T-log to see what we did here, the adjustments we did this week right here. Okay. Let's go to our last open trade, which is a September bearish butterfly. And this thing, all I ended up doing with this is I roll it up 20 points. We put it on, and I have not hit our add point of 1060 yet. And let's take a look at what we got. And we actually had a delta theta ratio problem last Friday. We had another delta theta ratio problem after Thursday, and when we held Friday, I finally decided I was just going to roll this up, and I rolled it from the 1020 to the 1040 right in here. And I did it in the morning because the market was down, and it didn't look like it was going to come down any further, and I took advantage of the fact the market was down a little bit to just go ahead and roll that up. And as of right now, this trade is down about 860, and we're sitting here in the 1040s. Our next move is to add a 1060. I still like the September bearish butterfly, and I think we may end up going to maybe 1072, which will get us in 2/3 of a position, which is nice. If the market continues up, I still think the upside's kind of limited. We end up topping out before 1080, so this looks like a pretty nice trade for the month. We shall see how that goes. All right, I think that's everything. I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you and good night.